Today we're going to be talking about one of the worst parts about being a writer, and that is writing slumps. But more importantly, we're going to be talking about how to claw your way back out of one. Hey Word Nerds, happy Monday. So before I jump into this week's discussion, I wanted to give you a very quick rundown of kind of where I'm at right now and where this discussion is coming from, because I have been deep in a writing slump pretty much since the end of last year, maybe late November going into December, definitely all of January, and at this point most of February, and I need to get back into the swing of things. I miss writing, but at the same time, because of how off the rails things went at the end of last year, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to talk about it, I'm just avoiding all things writing, and really I cannot go on this way forever, so it is time to talk about getting out of writing slumps. Now, an important distinction to make here is the difference between a writing slump and writer's block, because I think essentially they're kind of the same thing. It's really just a matter of how you're looking at it. And really, I don't like to think about writer's block because it feels like there's some sort of outside force that is keeping you blocked, that is keeping you from writing. Whereas on the flip side, with a writing slump, which is definitely what I am going through, I know without a doubt that the problem is me through and through. Nothing else is stopping me from writing. I have just dug myself into a hole and need to figure out how to get back out of it again and get back into writing. So here is a very quick rundown of things that have worked for me in the past that I've been trying again recently, and I will keep trying until I find a combination that works, until I get back into a writing routine and am regularly adding words to my manuscripts and putting out books, because that is where I need to be. That is the career I want to have, but in order to do any of that, I need to start writing again, and not just kind of in a way that feels like pulling teeth, where I don't really want to be doing it and I'm just avoiding it and dreading it. This needs to get better. My number one tip for any kind of productivity problem is to make a fresh start for yourself. The best case scenario is the beginning of a new year where you kind of have a clean slate to work from, but really you can find these anywhere, whether it is a new month, a new week, or even just a new day. Telling yourself that today I'm going to get organized and then tomorrow I am going to jump in and go full speed ahead. When you jump in again on Monday, things are going to go better. If you can believe that, you can achieve it, and that sounds cheesy, but this has worked for me time and time again. The key is to give yourself at least a few days of kind of prep work where you tell yourself that when that day comes around, you're going to start no matter what, but you do have a little bit of time to get organized ahead of time, whether that means outlining or finishing a bunch of the other stuff that is preventing you from having writing time. Whatever you need to do, get that done in the days leading up to your fresh start. And then when the time comes, you can jump in like you mean business and let all of that stuff in the past just go. At the same time, your fresh start doesn't need to be a full steam ahead kind of thing. If that's what you want to do, that is totally fine. If you think you know where you're headed and you can just jump back in and start hitting big word count goals or whatever your usual daily word count goal is going to be. But at the same time, your fresh start doesn't need to be full steam ahead. You don't have to get all the way back up to 100% right away. There is absolutely no harm in starting small. Even if that is just on the first day you need to write one word, on the second day you need to write one sentence, moving up to one paragraph and doing that until it starts to feel regular and a little bit more easy. And maybe that paragraph is all you really need to maintain moving forward. As long as you're getting that done in your allotted writing time, then you're good to go. Or you can keep building up from there. Whatever works for you, it is okay to start small, take baby steps, just start doing something again. It is also a good idea to have some kind of roadmap for where you want to go moving forward, essentially ending in a self-inflicted deadline where you know what you want to get done and by what date, maybe even setting up a bunch of smaller deadlines leading up to that so you can kind of pat yourself on the back for hitting those other milestones on the way to a completed manuscript or essay or whatever it is you have been avoiding writing. Don't make a deadline a scary thing, but make it more of a self-congratulatory thing. It will feel so good to hit those smaller, more manageable milestones, which will make it that much easier to get your momentum going again, heading toward those bigger goals like finishing your book or editing your book, or again, really anything applies. So that's it for me today, but if you guys have any advice for getting out of a writing slump, I would love to hear all about that in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to join us on Sunday for our next live chat where we're going to be talking about finishing what you start. So I'm sure a lot of these same things are going to apply and we can dig a little deeper into all of it. As usual, that will happen at 7:30 Eastern Time this Sunday. In the meantime, happy reading, happy writing, and I'll see you next time.